Hello my Pookie Pies. Today I'm going to show you how I go from this dirty hair to these luscious and defined curls. So I'll be taking you through my curly hair routine and show you how I get these curls. So let's get into it. So I first start with wet, clean hair. So I've just used shampoo and conditioner, wash those both out. And I normally shampoo twice because I only wash my hair twice a week. And then I use these two combs. This green one you see is actually from Temu. It's a bounce curl dupe and it's amazing at defining your curls. And then I use a fine tooth comb just for my partition. So first thing that I'm gonna do is set my partition. I just make a small center part and just enough so that I can get those front bits of hair defined and sectioned off. And then I just comb the rest of the hair back. Then I just roughly section my hair into two bits so that all the hair's at the front. This is because I'm going to put my styling products in. So the first is my curly hair gel, which is the Camille Rose Curl Maker. Just give it a second while it is trying to focus. It takes me ages. But yeah, it's a marshmallow and agave leaf extract gel that I actually put in my favorites video. So I put 2 pumps on each side of my hair, which is what you're seeing now. I'm just spreading it throughout with like my fingers. And yeah, I just brush that through. So I just tried my best to distribute that gel evenly throughout my hair. And then after that's done, I take that Temu brush and I just brush it through just to make sure it's distributed evenly. Now that that's done, most important part for me is having a good clip to section off your hair. So what I first do is I section off the bottom bit of my hair. So an important rule that I like to follow is styling my hair from bottom to top. So the bottommost section of my hair, and then I work my way up. Then I section it in two and bring both those sections forward. And then I need this spray bottle to function. It literally, what you need to do is make sure your hair is sopping wet. It needs to be, the more damp and wet it is, the more defined your curls are gonna be. So I spray down both those sections and then I take my Temu brush, and as you can see, when you brush your section, the ends of that brush creates those defined curls. And yeah, I just brush it until I'm happy with it, and then I scrunch the end, as you can see. Then I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side, just brushing it until I'm happy with the knots that have been taken out, and then the sections are quite well defined. So I'll just give it a little shake and then scrunch. So it's basically the same step that I do from the bottom of my hair to the top. And as I'm done, I'm just flicking that piece of hair back, and then I'm taking the new section. So it doesn't really matter. There's no defined rule on how big a section needs to be. It just depends on the curl size that you want. And then just keep repeating the process, spraying it down with the spray bottle. It's just water in the spray bottle. And then just brushing it with that Temu brush. So I just keep brushing it until I'm happy with the size of the curl and the fact that there's no frizz when I'm brushing it out. Like each strand is clear, and yeah, I can just see how those curls are forming, and I just give it a little shake and then scrunch it and then toss it back. Scrunch it twice and then toss it back. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward the section because it's the same thing again and again. Spray it, brush it with the Temu brush, and then give it a little scrunch, and then just continue working my way forward. So now I've gotten to the front bits of my hair. So these are the bits that are going to be framing my face. So I just want to give it a bit more attention as I'm styling it. So what I do is I make sure my partition is straight. One thing I'm working on is trying to do less of a partition so my hair can have a bit more volume. But what I do here is I take a small section and then spray it down with that water like I have been doing for the rest of my head. I brush it once or twice with that Temu brush, but then what I do here is I just twist the hair with my fingers. So this is a technique called finger curling. There are different ways you can do it, but for me the easiest is just twisting the strands with my fingers. So as you can see, I'm doing it in different directions. You can literally do it however you want. I prefer it, the ones that are further away from my eyes, I prefer to do a mix of directions that I'm twisting it in, just so that they don't get interlocked together. But the ones that are the closest to the center part, I just twist it away from my face. So as you can see here, I like to take that first section first and then twist it and then give it a bit of a shake and then just continuing with that as I'm going through it. So you can see by doing this, it's just giving it a lot more definition because you are handcrafting each single curl, so it just is more defined. And I like the fronts of my hair to be a bit more defined because that's obviously the ones that are you're gonna see the most, so it will bother me if it's not a good curl. So yeah, I'm just doing this, repeating the same process on the other side. And then giving it a final scrunch and I'm done. That only took about maybe 20 minutes in total. But now what I'm gonna do is I have this got2b Ultra Glued Gel, and this is actually what I use for my slick backs, but I just take a bit just to lock in that curl because it is a stronger gel than the Camille Rose one. I spray it down with a bit of that water spray, and then I just give it a quick scrunch on my hair. And what this does is that it creates a good gel cast. So if you don't know what a gel cast is, it's when you put in gel in your hair after you've styled it, and even when your hair is dry it may look quite wet, but then when you scrunch out your hair it gives it more volume, and I feel like for me personally the curls are more defined. I'm just putting my clip up here on my head just to give it a bit of volume while I diffuse it. And before I diffuse, I am using my heat protection spray, and I highly recommend you use heat protection spray if you are using a diffuser to dry your curly hair. It just obviously protects your hair from high temperatures of heat, less heat damage. Then I'm going in with my diffuser. I am using the Dyson one, but you really don't need an expensive hair dryer to diffuse your hair. You can get different attachments that you can add onto your hair dryer, so you don't need to buy a hair dryer that comes with an attachment. But if you just go on Amazon, you can find an attachment you can add to your hair dryer. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just hovering over the hair, making sure that my hair dryer is not touching it because it is really wet, and when you disrupt the curl while it's still wet it can cause a bit more frizz. So I'm literally just hovering over it, watching Grey's Anatomy and just giving it its time. Maybe about 10 minutes I'm just doing this, so just hovering over each section, giving it time to dry. Now I can see that the hair has gotten a bit of a crunch to it. When I touch it, it's a bit stiff, so I'm removing that clip, and now what I'm going to do is flip my hair to each side and do the same thing, hover over it. This gives it a bit more volume because I just keep flipping it side to side, so you're not setting it in a fixed place to dry. So by constantly flipping it, you're creating that bit of, I don't know what it's called, but it's just you're giving it the chance to get some volume in it. So I just do this, I go left to right, and then I flip my whole head forward just so that even though that first section that I styled is getting that chance to dry. And yeah, I just continue with this for a while, another 10 minutes probably, as I continue my TV show. And now when I feel like it's gotten a bit dry, even though it doesn't look like it's that dry, because of that cast, it is quite dry. So I'm just gonna go in and scrunch the hair and bring it up to my roots so I can get a bit more volume, and then just keep flipping my hair and doing the same thing, scrunching it and then going to the root and pushing it against my roots so that it can get a bit of volume. And just to note, this does create a bit of frizz, which I don't mind, because I feel like when you want volume you need to sacrifice definition a little bit, but I don't mind this because I like the look that just having that bit of frizz gives me that volume, and I don't want my hair to look too flat. So if you do want just definition, then I wouldn't suggest going in as much as I am. You can see that by creating that contact with my scalp as much as I am, it is getting a bit frizzy. But yeah, if you want that voluminous look, I would say that just do what I'm doing. By doing this, it just gives me that definition. And as you can see, I did reduce the heat, so when I'm towards the end of my drying process, I reduce the temperature just to cool out the hair a little bit. I don't want it to be too warm. And now these are my curls. They are a little bit damp, so I do leave it to dry a little bit on air. And then I like to go in with hair oil. So this is one my mom got me from, what's it called? Forest Essentials. So this is just their cooling hair oil with hibiscus and amla, but I actually do prefer the Elvive hair oil. To put a picture up here. But essentially what you do is you put a couple drops of the oil. I like to be a bit generous with it. Spread it between my fingers and then flip my whole hair forward and basically hover over my hair with it and like get it absorbed in the hair. And what this does is it breaks the gel cast that you have. And see, and I'm putting a bit more because I just want my hair to look a bit more shiny. So I just go in and like shake out my hair, scrunch my hair, and yeah, honestly, just get that oil in your hair and just keep scrunching it and then shake it from side to side. And there we go. That is basically my curly hair routine. This is the last step, and I just shake it until I'm happy with the amount of volume. Honestly, I wish I had more volume, but if you have any tips on how to get more volume, please let me know. But yeah, that is my curly hair routine. I am quite happy with the results. If you have curly hair and you want your hair to look like this, I would recommend this routine. Let me know your thoughts and any recommendations for future videos. Bye, Pookies!